I think I'm starting to resent my husband. We've been married for 17 years. When I was younger I could go anywhere at the drop of a hat. Loved anything spontaneous. Was a social person to the max. Loved meeting new people. When we had our first kid 16 we decided I'd stay home with her. If I had continued to work all the money I'd made would go to child care. Then we had our second 15. It was hard. Money was tight but we made it work. Well, I made it work. I've always handled the fiancés. I've always been the one stressed, budgeting, clipping coupons. But our bills were always paid and the kids had everything they needed and most of what they wanted. We're in a much better place, but it's always been hard, especially since money burns a hole in my husband's pocket. He can't save money to save his life. If he got a bonus, then an unexpected expense came up. My POV is thank gosh, we've got the money to take care of it. My husband's POV is I can never have anything while pouting like a toddler. He has 5 trucks. 5. He's always buying something then complaining when we can't buy more of what he wants. Machinery. It's exhausting. I'm the kind of person who'll laugh at myself when something stupid happens. My husband will scream and throw things. I couldn't tell you how many times we've had to replace something, then have to listen to him complaining about having to buy another one. Well, if you didn't break it I wouldn't have to buy another one since I was at home with the kids 24/7 with hardly no money to go anywhere, no internet at the time, so no social media, only a simple flip phone. My world became our 4 walls in the yard. I didn't have the gas money to visit my mom who lived over an hour away. I conditioned myself to be happy to always be at home. Otherwise depression would have ended me. I volunteered for everything. Girl Scout leader, soccer coach, youth leader at church, anything, because if the kids were gonna be there anyway might as well help out was always my thought. Finally when the kids were 8-9 I was able to go back to work. At first it was a hard adjustment, but I had friends again that weren't just acquaintances because of our kids. I didn't feel like just someone's mom or someone's wife. I felt like a person again. Sure, it was only at work, but it was amazing to me. My husband and I set our schedules so that one of us was always with the kids. He was always hard on me anytime things weren't always done. Like having 1 load left to wash. Why couldn't you have done that 1 load? Never mind the fact I had already done 5 that day because I washed all the cloths and the beddings and blankets. Or I'd have all the dishes except a few things left from his late snacking after I had done the dishes after dinner. I brushed it off and just ignored it. He comes home from work and doesn't do anything. No housework, no yard work, nothing. Wouldn't even take the trash out. After him having to do all the housework and take care of the kids on his days off. He couldn't handle it. I loved it because it was like I got a break from the kids. After a year and a half he sat me down and for the first time he wanted to know our finances, so I showed him. After looking at our paychecks he calculated the amount of overtime he'd need to do to make up my paycheck. He made a lot more than me, so it came out to be 2 hours a day of odd. Then begged me to quit my job and go back to being a som. I didn't want to, but the kids begged me because they didn't like the way he did things because they were used to me. So I quit, and at first he stepped up, was a way better husband, way more considerate. That lasted 3 months. With the kids in school I because used to being alone throughout the day. It was nice at first, then I became an introvert except when it came to my kid's husband. I started becoming anxious when I had to go anywhere. It got bad. I became depressed. Then I started coping, just small things that gave me comfort, like giving myself time to get mentally ready to go anywhere. It helped. I still love going places. I just need a heads up to prepare myself. Used to it was 3-4 days notice. Then I got down to the day before. I can go anywhere, just let me know the day before. Unless it's an emergency, you're Saul. I ain't going. Then COVID happened. It became 3-4 days in advance again. I have clawed my way back. I'm good. I'll go anywhere, just let me know the day before. And sometimes I get overwhelmed with my husband, kids. So I read to escape. It helps. I can be present and still escape if I need to. So I don't get snippy. I've talked to my husband about this. It frustrates me so bad that he knows I need a heads up and still goes, oh let's go here today. I've given a lot. Even though by the end of the day, by the time we get home my nerves are shot and all I want to do is cry because I'm so overwhelmed. I've told him. Today he did it again. At 2 p.m. he looked at me and said, go get ready, let's go to the store. I said no. I already have plans to go to the store tomorrow. He started bugging me and I said no louder and told him that I can't just get up and go. It does not work that way. He then got mad, said we can never do anything, I can't wait to live by myself. He says this a lot, insinuating a divorce. Used to it hurt my feelings, now I just don't care. He gaslights and throws tantrums like a toddler. Anytime we go anywhere he is always in a bad mood while I'm not. Then he bugs me and makes fun of me and pesters me about things that upset me. Then when I get upset and in a bad mood, then he's all happy and telling me I'm ruining the fun by being upset and to stop being sensitive. When I tell him how I feel, my anxiety, how I needs a heads up, he says things like I'm just gonna spring going places on you like it's a freaking game. Sometimes I hate him. When the youngest gets their license, I'm getting a job. 8 or they turn 18, we might get divorced, we might not. Honestly, I just do not care.